7,000.
Let's hope all this is outputting there. All right, hello everybody. Let me put us all in full screen here now and hope this is all working. So yeah, actually it looks like it's all working. I hope everybody can hear all of us. Let us know how the audio is. Can everybody speak? If anybody's in the chat actually at the moment. Just need to make sure.
Now I feel like I gotta turn my camera on, but I'm laying in bed.
Well then, don't turn on if you don't. What? Yeah, that's fine. Your audio is fine. We heard that. That's fine. All right. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast, of course. This time I managed to actually figure out how to get us all on screen, of course. Why is it streamer mode? Get over that. Okay. Yeah, so we are back with the podcast as per usual on... This is the third episode of it? I must say. 3. And now you can actually see everybody. So over on YouTube, we're actually going to have everybody, not just my beautiful, gorgeous, glorious face and very silly. Okay, now we got everybody on camera. And if anybody else wants to join in on the conversation, you know yourself, we are more than accommodating. Of course.
Never accommodating.
Yes, we are accommodating. What you mean? And as you can see, within 4 days, my beard is already coming back. As I said, I have very fast beard growth. This shit just grows really goddamn quick. So, that's why I don't ever worry about shaving the goddamn thing. Of course. Anyway, let's start. What type of topic should we start with? Give us a topic. Anybody have a topic?
People giving Simone Biles crap for taking care of herself, when if it was a guy, they wouldn't be doing it.
Well, what you mean now by that? Like, crap about taking care of yourself? Like, what type of crap?
Well, first of all, they're not scoring her the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're docking points so that way other people don't injure themselves by trying to do the same moves that she does. And then so that's a mental health thing. So she said she wasn't going to compete because of it being unfair scoring, and then a couple of other things as well. She didn't even necessarily want to compete in this Olympics after it got pushed back.
Right, yeah. I haven't been paying attention to the Olympics at all, so I have no idea.
Yeah, so they're scoring her unfairly compared to the rest of the people, whereas like when Michael Phelps was winning all of his golds, they didn't ever like add like seconds of time to make it more fair to the other people.
But hasn't that always been the case in sports and everything in general? It's been like women are always treated like shit because apparently they're weaker and they're this, but you don't compare women to men when it comes to sports, and you don't compare men to women when it comes to sports. Everybody's going to have their own genetic gifts, whereas men are obviously going to be stronger in most regards because we're genetically built to be stronger. That's just genetic wise. But it doesn't mean a woman can't be fucking physically fit and strong and do everything. She should be scored fairly based on that. And for that bullshit, yeah, I hate it. It's the same way with the workplace. Yeah. Men are always going to get more of a raise over than women. Paid better than women, whereas a woman could do a job better than a man. I'm always know that. Like, I'm a prideful person, don't get me wrong, but if somebody's going to be better than me at something, I'm going to be like, fair fucking play, you're better than me. Like, when people get ahead of me on streaming, like, I hope I can help them get ahead on that and see them succeed. I'm not one of them people that's a little pissy. Oh, I have this many followers now. Oh, you're after passing me with followers. No, fuck off now. I don't want anything to do with you. Any of you ever pass me out on stream and I'm just like, fair fucking play. Send some of the followers my way. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them pissy fuckers that is, I have to be ahead. I have to be this person that's in the lead with everyone. Hey, what is going on, Dimension? How are you getting on, buddy? Togi, welcome. Togi has got his microphone recommendations for me, so when your stream starts sounding really crisp and clear, you can thank me for that. Yeah. How are you getting on?
To be fair, I didn't think Togi had an issue with his microphone when I went on his stream last time.
But it's going to start sounding better. I joke, by the way. Not really. I didn't give him the recommendations. I'm just glad he went with it because it's not that expensive. Yeah, you're welcome, Togi, honestly, man. Like, anything I could do to help anyone out, that is all I ever want to do with streaming. I want to help people out mentally, physically, if I can. Get their physical health in order and maybe make people happy. That's like, why would I want to make people sad? Case in point. But yeah, back to that whole people getting treated like shit, women getting treated like shit in sports, or scored unfairly based on the fact their gender. It's absolutely disgraceful behavior from judges that should be unfucking biased. In your when you are rating sport, like for instance boxing, you're going to be going on, if the two fellas are fighting, you're going to be scoring them on cards on who's landing more punches, who's better at defense, offense, who has the better drive. You should be unbiased. It doesn't matter if you're friends with one of the people that are boxing or not. I'm going to be like, if I was in a charity boxing match, which is something I do want to do. That's not me being sarcastic. I do actually want to do a charity boxing fight. And maybe one day next year I might do it. Just need to find an opponent. I need to train better than I'm training now. For obviously, it's a different type of training for boxing. It's all cardio based and learning to throw punches again. But if I was doing that fight and somebody scored it unfairly, I would be extremely pissed. I wouldn't want anybody scored in my favor if they're friends with me, or just because I'm the streamer, they need to score it on. No. This is my point. It's like, you can't do that. Have to be unbiased. Enjoy my coffee here. But yeah, just on that point, people need to shut the fuck up with the bias bullshit. Bye, Susie.
Oh, sorry, I was just turning the lights
You're
on.
grand. I know. It is fine. So yeah.
On a semi-positive note with the Olympics, though, is I think it was the Norwegian handball team or something like that. They have to, like beach volleyball players, they have to wear bikinis.
Oh yeah.
And they decided to wear like volleyball spandex instead. And the Olympics are going to fine them for every match that they wear them. And Pink offered to pay all their fines because of equality. And they should be able to wear what they want instead of being sexualized in a bikini.
Yeah, where are we streaming? We are. I'm streaming on. We're on Discord at the moment. In the Discord chat, I just have a full screen so you don't see all the other bull crap. Yeah, like honestly, women are over sexualized when it comes to sports. This is being, in my opinion, a whole thing. If I want to watch a sport, I don't want to have to be turned on watching that sport. I want to watch it for the athleticism more than anything else. That's what I'm watching the sport for. I'm not watching it. Like, think about, all right, let's put it in perspective. My favorite sport is basketball. Could you imagine LeBron James and all them wearing thongs going out onto the fucking court? That's just...
Imagine if men all had to start playing their sports shirtless, so that way you can like look at their abs.
Exactly, and not every guy is going to have abs that plays basketball, baseball, all the rest of this bullshit. This is my point. It's like, you shouldn't sexualize a gender just because you find them attractive. And then you see some of the cameramen, there is one clip I saw, the cameraman was pervy as fuck. He was moving down onto the vagina area, but he got caught, so he had to quickly go back up. It's like, you can't do that. You need to be professional. Yes, every now and again you are going to capture a glimpse of some girl's ass or some shit like that. That's perfectly acceptable. That happens. There's not much you could do about it. The body is there. What are you going to do? Cut off half the fucking body? Oh yeah, it's just a floating head walking around the Olympics. So, case in point is over-sexualization of sports needs to stop. Gender bias needs to stop. And what was the third point? I can't think of the third point. I'm after losing my train of fucking thought. Great. But it's just, people just need to grow the fuck up. The world is not as black and white as it should be. It's like, it's kind of a gray area, all this stuff is. And it's completely acceptable in a lot of people's eyes, which I think is bullshit. Basically. Don't be homophobic. Yeah, there, thank you. That was actually, did you read my mind? That was the third fucking thing I was about to say. You did actually read my mind. Okay. Yes, don't be homophobic. If homophobia is one of the worst things, and we've actually covered this topic a little bit, but going into detail on it a little bit more. If somebody is attracted to dick, if you're a guy and you're attracted to dick, you want that dick? Go fucking take as many as you want. I don't care. If you're a girl and you're attracted to vagina, go take as many of them as you want. If you're like both, have both of them in the room with you. Your decision. It doesn't hurt me. Why the fuck should I care? You know, really, honestly.
I mean, technically, it depends. So, like, if you're in a relationship, and I'm kind of going off on a joke with this.
All right.
You're in a relationship and you like both, and you want to do a three-way, but your partner doesn't want to do a three-way. You know, that's something else. Or I don't know. Like, are you? So it's like, wait, three-way?
Yeah, PP strong. But about the whole three-way conversation, it's like, if your partner is not comfortable with it, should you really try and force that onto them or not? I don't think you should.
This was going to should. Like,
I know it's a joke. I know, but I'm going to go on an actual. I'm going to turn the joke into a serious one. All right.
No, definitely
just
first them.
because relationships are one of these things where you have to have open communication. If you are too afraid to be open in a relationship, that relationship is destined to fail. That is going to go nowhere. Like, because you're so afraid to say, hey, babe, look, maybe I want a threesome. What do you think about this idea? And then she or he could be like, no, I'm not really down with that. Or, it's something that I've never really wanted, which is perfectly acceptable. Not everybody wants a threesome. Not everybody wants to go and hang out with three and fuck on a three. No, you know what I mean. Boundaries have to be set in relationships, but also open communication is very important. Honestly.
I was gonna say that's part of talking, because if you don't say to them, you never know. If you know.
Because so many people in relationships are so afraid to ask, like, what do you like? What do you want to do? What is your what kind of things do you want? So many people are afraid to ask that, and then the relationship goes stale and dry, and all of a sudden now your relationship is doomed because you were not experimental enough or too afraid to ask, like, do you want something new in the bedroom?
Yeah.
So that was turning the joke into something serious, but you get my meaning.
Yeah. Well, no, definitely. If you're too afraid to be open and
communication,
it's not gonna go in your favor.
No, it isn't, because everything is just going to be, you're afraid, you're walking on eggshells, and all of a sudden that person is just like, I'm sick of this tiptoeing around. I'm just going. You lost it. Bye. Have a great time. Kind of bullshit. But yeah, that's the thing about relationships. It has to be a 50-50, a give and take sort of thing. You can't expect a relationship to be built on somebody doing 90% of the work and the other person only doing 10%. Not the way it works, or like 40-60 or whatever, has to be 50-50.
Hey, that sounds familiar.
Does it? Sounds very familiar. Yeah.
Oh yeah, horribly so.
I know, because everybody's been in one of them relationships where it's been a give and a take, or like somebody's just constantly giving and the other person's just constantly taking but never giving back, or you're so busy chasing this person and they're not, say like you're always texting first or you're always calling first and the other person never does it. And then you text them and they could take like 5-6 hours to respond, even though they're doing fucking nothing, and they're doing nothing. They're them areas that are just like, what? It's the point. What am I working towards here? I'm working towards this dead-end relationship that I know is going nowhere, and now I'm sad because I'm not getting the love I want, or I'm not getting the respect I want from this person. I'm showing them nothing but love and respect. So...
Jeez, there's no need to talk about me so much right now, Craig. Gosh.
I swear,
just at me next time. Just at me next time. Jesus.
I don't even know who I'm just talking in generalistic terms.
No, I know. I just need everything you're saying. I'm like, wow, that's, yeah.
Are you who I think you are? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean, Jesse? Your boyfriend? What? I'm confused.
Oh, no, just that's how my relationship is right now, yeah.
Well, if it's like that, who's doing most of the texting?
Me.
Well, then you need to start cutting that back and start making him...
Oh, I have been.
Make him start playing.
And then it creates issues.
Well, if it's creating issues, look, this is the only advice I can give to you. If it's creating aggro and issues, it's just the best thing to do is just be like, look, obviously you don't really want me as much as I want you, which is the truth. In these relationships, one person wants the other person more. This is just the truth of it. And it's just time to be like, look, it's time you either start making changes or I'm gone. And you need to start stating these facts.
Yeah, I've been saying that for like 2 years. It's okay.
Well, it needs to be like, I need to get you need it for your own mental health.
That's what I've told you before, like when you're like, oh, you're in a relationship. And I'm like, not really. Like,
yeah, I understand.
Roommates.
I get it. Yeah, it's just a friends with benefits sort of thing at that point. Then that's
the no benefits.
All right, just a friends thing. No benefits.
Yeah.
Well,
we
have the companionship, I guess. Because we do get along in that way.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, Togi, I used to be the same as you. I used to be so desperate for affection. I mean, absolutely desperate to the point where if they didn't text me in an hour, I was text to try to get their attention. But then I realized somewhere down the road a couple of years ago, if you're consistently doing the chasing and they're not putting any effort in, they don't want you like you want them. They just want you when they need something. And that's where you need to start being firm with that. I know it's tough. It's like, I want this person, my fucking heart really hurts, and it's begging for them, but they don't want you back. So you need to be like, look, go fuck yourself. I'm done. I'm sick of chasing after you. I'm not going to be there on a second whim. I am not playing second to anyone. I am playing first. I am chasing you. I'm going to fight for what I want. And if you don't want me, fuck it, I'm gone.
You're saying,
Wait, redeem play with
love
classes in
something.
a game? How am I? We're not playing a game right now. Anyway, I'll keep that for tomorrow.
You know that saying, if you love somebody, set them free. If they love you back,
They'll-
or if they really love you,
exactly.
set them back. Live with that.
That is the honest. It is true though. It is honestly true. If you're not getting the love back that you want, that you are giving out, that is honestly going nowhere. It's a dead end relationship that's going to end up with you getting hurt every single time. And that goes for both guys and girls. This is not just because a lot of people seem to think men don't have emotions and feelings, and that we're big fucking strong hardy people that shouldn't show emotion. Nah, motherfucker, I have emotions, I've got feelings, I get sad, I get happy, I get fucking horny, I get everything. I am a human being. I'm just not afraid to be in tune with my feelings and emotions, thank you very much. I'm not bottled up, I'm not fucking like a brick wall that if you come and talk to me, I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm fine. Oh jeez. Have you had this before? You know, where it's like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. But obviously you're fucking not. 100% true. It's all about being able to read body language and signals and signs and knowing when there's something wrong with someone, which, as I've told you before, I had 2 disabled brothers which could not talk, so I got very good at reading nonverbal communication. For me, it is personally easy to read signs, but if you really take a step back and get your head out of I want this person, and you just put that to the side and you take a step back and look at the person that actually is and look at their reactions and the responses to stuff, you will start learning very, very quickly that person doesn't give a fuck. That's
I
why.
do want to go back to the whole
Yeah.
thing that I said with the if you love somebody, said there is a fine line though with that too. It's if they do come back, you got to make sure that they're actually coming back because they do love you and not because they're just like, oh, you're my safety net, you know. Because
Exactly. That's
you don't want to be somebody's safety net.
That's what I was saying about the whole they only want you when they need something. That's basically the safety net sort of thing. When they're upset or sad, or the guy they were just sleeping with broke their heart, and then they come running to you because they're like, yeah, I want you, or the girl they were just sleeping, whatever, guy, girl. This is both for men and women. Oh yeah, I really want you, but then all of a sudden another love interest comes into their life that they are like, oh yeah, this person's more attractive to me, I'm going to go there. Or vice versa, so on and so forth. It's like, you cannot be a stepping stone for this person. If this person wants you, they are not going to put you as a second priority. They are going to put you as their first fucking priority. If they really wanted you, you should be the number one thing on your mind or their mind from morning to noon. As crazy as that sounds, when you really are interested in someone, love someone, whatever, they're going to be on your mind constantly. Even when you try to be like, I need to focus on this, they're just like, oh, I'm here. Hello? You remember this person that you're supposed to be in love with? They're here. Yeah. All right, that looked very, very strange. That looked like I was about to... No, we're not going to talk about that. But anyway, simple facts is, the more you are desperate for someone, the less they're going to want you. They need to be showing the same sort of feelings. That's about as much as I can say on that, because I have been hurt so many times in the past by trying, and you have to learn from that hurt what you don't want and what you do want. So, and I love me some coffee. So yeah,
you can just marry your coffee because at least you know coffee won't hurt you. It'll just make you poop.
If you drink too much coffee, it can hurt you. So yeah, be careful with that one too. So yeah, Togi, that's like, honestly, look, you gotta. I know it's really, really tough because I used to be in your position where you were too afraid to hurt the other person, and Jesse, you were too afraid to hurt the other person. But sometimes tough love is the best sort of love in them situations. If you're too afraid to be tough on them, they're going to keep walking all over you.
Oh no,
what tough streamer? I know, yeah, I get it, but I'm just saying in general, it's like, don't be afraid to be emotional and in tune with your emotions, but also don't be afraid to be tough at the same time, because you could be both.
If you are afraid to be too emotional or whatever, then there's other things wrong with that.
Exactly, that's the truth.
No.
That is true. Because even men can be emotional. We're allowed to be emotional. This stigmatism over men and their emotions needs to fucking stop. It really
There's nothing
does.
such than a guy who knows how to go with their emotions.
Yeah. And like that's why I'm always emotionally available, because I'm just like, what's the worst that can happen? I might get hurt. Okay, fair enough. But at least I can say you met the real me. That goes for everybody like that comes into my stream. I am me. I have cried on stream before, for fuck's sake. With the first time I ever got raided, I was having a shitty day. And I actually, this is before I had face cam, but I was pretty damn thrown back by it. Happy tears. But it's okay to have happy tears, sad tears. Oh, of course, streamer. I'm always doing well. These days, I am actually always doing well. And I really enjoy these podcasts because no matter what, there's always good topics that we come up with. And they're on the fly. And if you have anything that needs to be discussed in the chat, throw us out a topic. We'll delve onto it. It's like
my first raid ever was from Sky. Just throwing that out there before we get
nice. Mine was from a streamer called Vivi the Demon, actually. And then Danny raided me, and then I haven't been raided in a while actually, but I don't care at the moment. Like raids are great and all, but I don't need them. You know what I mean? So another thing as well is for my friend, which I don't know if he'd tune in today or not, because he was out drinking last night and the night before. He was in the same situation where he was afraid to be himself. He doesn't know who he is. This is a thing. You is a possibility you actually don't know who you are as a person because you're so mentally fucked that you don't know how to relax and you don't know how to chill out and you don't know how to be in tune with your own emotions. Now, the first thing about loving somebody else is you have to love yourself. And if you could all send it. So if you can't love yourself, you will never love another person. And that goes down to the fact of if you cannot wake up every single day and tell yourself you're worth a damn. Oh, I look good today. Oh, today's going to be a good day, or all these things. If you are afraid to tell yourself them things, how are you ever going to compliment the opposite sex, the same sex, whatever sex you're attracted to, and actually mean it? How are you going to say, I think you're absolutely beautiful today, or I think, you're stunning, or you're afraid to say that because you're so afraid of getting compliments yourself, or you're so afraid to compliment yourself that you're bottled up emotionally. And if you can't figure out who that person is, deep down inside, you're never going to be happy with yourself either. That goes hand in hand.
See, but I mean, I understand that and I get it, but this is going to go back to, I think it was like the second, maybe the first podcast we talked about.
Yeah.
Where it's, you can take the compliments and everything. Like, you can take compliments. That's fine. It's just, it also makes me feel awkward though. And it's not just because like, I'm like, just because it's a compliment. It's like when people sing happy birthday to you, what do you do? Like, you're like, oh, thanks.
Yeah, I don't really care about birthdays, to be honest with you. I've stopped caring about birthdays a long time ago.
No, I know, but I think that's kind of the thing that I'm trying to say or get at is there's two different ways to say it.
So true. You do have a point. That is a valid point as well on that. It's like, if it's hard to take compliments as well, eventually it becomes easier when you start hearing more and more compliments. It really does. Doesn't matter who you are. It's because a lot of times people are afraid to compliment. Say, the whole date scenario, right? Just for instance, people are too afraid to compliment the opposite sex. Or if somebody's out trying to go out and, worst place to meet someone, in my honest opinion, is inside in a nightclub or something like that. Because as we discussed, I think in the first or second podcast, we discussed that when you meet someone in a nightclub and you're drunk and then you try to be in a relationship with them afterwards, that just doesn't work because you only find each other attractive when you're drunk. Now, if you're going out for sex, okay, fine, do that. We are sexual creatures by nature. I personally don't care for one-night stands, never have, never will. But it is okay not to go out and get laid. It is okay to just go out and have fun. That's what you should really be going out for anyway. But if you're going out to get laid, you should be able to walk up to a girl at a bar and be like, hey, you look very, hi, how are you getting on? And then you should be like, look, I think you look beautiful tonight. all the rest of this. You shouldn't be afraid to say that. But so many people are afraid to walk up and say you look nice. Because women, when they go out, put a lot of effort into looking good. Men, on the other hand, we go in, have a shower, throw on the random shirt we probably wore about 3 months ago, a pair of jeans, some socks, and a pair of runners. That's what I usually wear. So
I actually have a thing to say about that, and it's talking about relationships and the whole going out thing. So I browsed on Instagram earlier, and I came across a post where women, when they go out, they get ready, they get dressed, everything like that, and you don't, their boyfriends, husbands, partners don't compliment them.
yeah,
And so
exactly.
they post, but then those same guys who don't compliment them will be on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, liking all these posts from other women, and then they get mad when some other guy, compliments their girlfriend even though they didn't compliment them, and it's like, what?
Exactly. Like, if your woman is going out on a night out, one thing you should be doing is, if they're wearing something and they put so much effort into looking good, you should be like, damn, babe, you look fucking amazing. Although, that dress is a little bit short. The way I put it, I did see actually a video a couple of days ago on, I think it was TikTok actually. And the guy was lying in bed while his girlfriend was out. And all of a sudden, he got a text saying, your girlfriend kissed another guy. Now, what are you doing wrong in that relationship where she felt she needed to get the love from another guy? What's the first thing you're doing wrong? And secondly, if she's not faithful, or he's not faithful, it can go both ways, as I said. You need to figure out, one, is that relationship worth keeping? Do you actually? This is actually a question I mean to ask. If your partner kisses another person, is that cheating? I've had the discussion with some people, and they say no, and some people say yeah. So, and thank you by the way, Denise. Hey, welcome,
Personal
Stephen.
thing.
Personal thing. It's a personal preference. Like, do you think kiss? Because as I've discussed before, if a girl comes up and kisses me, but I don't kiss her back, or I try to push her away, that can't be cheating because I'm like, yo, hold the fuck up. I didn't have anything to do with this. But if I kissed her back, that's, in my opinion, cheating.
Yes.
That's how my current relationship is, but when I was in Barcelona, the guy I was with, we were never dating, whatever.
Yeah.
Just culturally with the kissing on the cheeks more, I know that's not the same as kissing on the lips, whatever. He was always like, oh, if I go out and kiss someone else, I don't view that as cheating, and I was fine with that. So for us, that worked because we talked about it,
yeah, exactly.
and we both agreed that it was fine.
Yeah.
But it is something that you don't just go do. It's something
Exactly.
be like, oh, is this okay?
That is the whole open communication thing, as I was talking about as well. It's where the boundaries are at. The way I see it, all right, say if I was dating someone, they went out and they kissed someone by accident, but they were coming home to me at the end of the night, I'd be like, I would forgive that kiss because you're drunk. You're not yourself. It's like when a girl, has sex when she's drunk, and then she's like, this wasn't really consensual because I was absolutely fucking plastered. Where's the line there? I'm at that point where I'm trying to think, where's the line?
Yeah, that's I know you've mentioned before, you won't hook up with a girl because they're drunk when they're drunk because of that, and that's where I think a lot of people get to is they do get older because of things like that, and there is no hard line because it's hard. Oh yeah, you're drunk, so even though she consented last night, can she call rape the next morning? And that's a whole. Yeah. And there is no right or wrong or black and white with that. It's all just completely gray, and there is really no answer.
You don't kiss while drunk by accident. But the problem is when there is a certain point when you're drunk where you're blackout drunk, and that's where I'm getting at. When you get blackout drunk.
If you get to that point of drunkenness, then that to me says that you have something in your life that you need to reevaluate.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. That's where I'm trying to get to that point.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Because when I was going through that whole depression phase and I was out drinking heavy every single weekend, I was getting blackout drunk so many weekends because I was trying to hide all the issues I was dealing with instead of getting help. This is the honest to God's truth. When I actually went and sought help, I don't even need alcohol anymore. I'm at the point where I'm just like, if I wanted to drink, yeah, I drink. But right now, I'm so happy with myself and how much my mental health is going forward that, yeah, my underlying issues are gone, because most people are too afraid, as we got back to with men, they're so afraid to be in tune with their emotions, they won't go and get help. You know?
Yeah.
So, yes, blacking out is the devil, but why are you getting that drunk where you need to black out? That's what I'm trying to see. You have to figure out that underlying issue where where you know, oh, I'm after losing my train of thought. Where, what was I saying? Blackout.
You have to, if you're blackout drunk, there's an underlying issue and you need to go seek out help of some sort to figure out what it is, or at least confront, even if you don't necessarily need help and you are a person that can process things yourself, then you need to be willing to confront something after you admit it's a problem.
Exactly. There we go. Thank you. That's what I was getting at. And if you need to go to a counselor, now counseling and a shrink, as I know as you call them shrinks over in America, two different things. Counseling is where you go to just talk about your problems and a person gives you help to deal with it. So you're going this way with it. You're moving forward and forward and forward and forward. Whereas a shrink is someone you pay like a lot of money to go talk to, and they just want to give you medication. Yeah.
I think counseling
is women as well.
Not, yeah. I was going to say, it's not just men or women, it's everybody.
Yeah, we're talking about everybody. I'm just saying, from a male perspective, this is just from my perspective with men, because I'm a man, so I'm going to give my perspective on the subject. This is why it's good to have men and women in a podcast, not just men. Because when you just have men, it just fucking, all you're getting is the male perspective, and then it can come across as a bit alienating for people, you know what I mean?
So the hardest thing here is the not free healthcare. So to get a drink or a whatever is
very expensive.
Expensive here, yeah.
Over here, the best thing about going for counseling is there is like a resource center, it's called, which is up in my town, which is only 25 minutes away. I paid a €5 a session, €5 a session to go and get my head straight. So I went for 16 sessions. Usually they do 8 sessions and they're like, okay, you're good to go. But Roger, which was my counselor, which I'm very grateful for, I usually don't mention names, but I'm very grateful for him, done 16 sessions with me. He actually extended our sessions so we could really dive deep into what the fuck is making me so miserable. Now, by the end of it, I felt like a new person. I felt like I had goals, I had drive again, I had motivation again to actually do stuff. And now I'm not afraid to take risks, whereas before I was so afraid to take risks in life. I spent 10 years literally sitting in my room, not taking any risks, and wondering why my life was going nowhere. You know? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As I recommended Steven the same counselor I had, which is my friend in chat. I recommend him the same counselor I had because it really will help him. And like, as I said, there's no harm in having mental health support. There is no harm. We need it. Like, people should be trying to bring each other up, not put each other down. And so many people are out there trying to put everyone down and not realizing people are people, and they're trying their hardest to succeed. Like, I'm trying my hardest to succeed at streaming. I'm trying my hardest to entertain people. I'm trying my hardest to do all this. I'm putting so much effort into all this stuff, and it is starting to pay off. I couldn't be happier with how it's starting to pay off, but the money is just a bonus. It's when people come back and genuinely enjoy what I'm doing is the real reward for me. Honestly, I couldn't ask for a better community, because that's what I'm building, is a good community of people. And I've met some amazing people along the way. You know? So, yeah. Oh, what was I saying as well about... I was on a topic there. About people being afraid to do stuff, afraid to take risks. Why are you afraid to take risks? What's holding you back? This is another thing, because when people don't want to succeed, they're afraid to take risks, you know what I mean? But...
fear of failure.
Fear of failure, exactly. But you got to realize, when you fail, that's going to lead you to another route of success.
You learn.
Exactly.
See, the whole fear of failure too also brings me back because I've grown up with this, growing up with parents that I've had. I wasn't allowed to fail in school. Like, I had to get straight A's. I could barely get any B's. And so I remember the first time that I got straight A's, it literally felt like the biggest mistake because now that I knew I could do it for a full year, I set the bar high for myself. And so if I didn't get it straight A's, it would be failing to me. And so that was just bad. So the first time I got an F in school it was like, I was my junior year of high school.
Right.
And it was so hard to handle because I've never failed at anything. And so that's the whole thing too. If you're a parent and you have kids, don't put so much stress on your kids for failing. Like, let them take it and move on with it.
Let me give you a great example of failing. When I was younger, my dyslexia was absolutely atrocious. And by that comment there, my mother just put in, if people don't want to go to counseling here, there are services in Ireland called Samaritans, which is a free number you can ring up, get all your shit off your chest, and they don't even say fuck all to you, which is a free number. Yeah, exactly. But I could not do homework. I honestly struggled so hard to understand any words, to understand anything, and it used to end up with an argument between me and my mother. I'm not afraid to say this because this is just the reality of how severe my dyslexia used to be. Just because you have a severe mental disability when you're younger, which is what I had, mine is not that severe anymore. Yes, I struggle with typing or spelling words sometimes. Oh my god, who doesn't? Answer me that question.
English is hard.
English is hard, exactly. I struggle with typing, but my handwriting is absolutely fucking atrocious. So, the point being is, just because you have some sort of disability doesn't mean it's going to ever stop you in life. If you let that disability stop you in life, that's when you're failing. That's when you are like, I'm so afraid that people are going to judge me because I have a mental disability. If they're the ones judging you, they're the ones with the fucking problem. They're the ones that need to go and get fucking help or just go jump off a bridge for all I care. If they're judging people for having the disability that they can't control or bullying them for having it, they're the ones that just need to go fuck off. Plain and simple. We need less of them people in the world. Absolutely less. Now, they're the type of people that I find absolutely disgraceful and disgusting. I dropped off school because of me not meeting family expectations. All of them had A pluses in every subject everywhere. And I had very bad with everything except English, so because I didn't do good, I quit before them. A lot of people do that at the end of the day because school don't mean shit. And this is why I'm going to say this, right? Who was it that did not succeed in school but became a multi-billion-dollar company owner?
Every single big company owner that there is.
Let's
Steve Jobs is the most famous one, though.
Was it Bill Gates as well?
Oh, yeah.
Bill Gates did not finish school, and he went on to open Apple, as far as I remember. He's Apple, isn't he? Like, let me make sure I'm getting this right.
Bill Gates is
Microsoft. Steve Jobs is Apple.
Steve Jobs as well didn't finish school. He didn't either. Yeah, that's the one. Sorry, Steve Jobs, who founded Apple, did not finish school either, from what I remember.
He didn't like his parents' garage.
Yep, exactly. So
where he started it.
If they can succeed and they didn't have any education whatsoever, what good is the education system? Now, I'm not saying people drop out of school. No. You need to learn to read and write. Don't get me wrong. That is the bare necessities. But I am saying, don't let bad grades in school determine your fucking future. Because when you let bad grades in school determine your future, you're getting nowhere, basically, at that, you know? And that's what I'm saying. So, just be wary.
I was saying, it's like that episode of Simpsons, if you guys watch Simpsons, where they were at a convention center or something like that. And they were talking, or I think that's Bart saying something about how he wants to drop out of school because of blah, 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 blah. And he gets there and like all of these super successful people dropped out of school. And no, it was Lisa actually. And then she's like, did anybody actually graduate from school? And here comes the janitor who's like, yeah, I graduated with this and this and this. And like, he was the only one who was successful in school, but wasn't successful in life.
Exactly.
So
school means shit all. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see Denise's comment here. You see, the first problem, the thing is, when you go to work in Russia, high school diploma, any kind of high school diploma, you can't work on any job. It's the same thing over here. But over here, there are after you finish school programs, which is what I did. I went back to education at 24, and I got fully qualified in retail, business, management, marketing, and customer service. So, like, I am fully qualified to be a manager. fully qualified, and I cannot get a job over here in a fucking store. And I am qualified to be a manager. Also, my next door neighbor's grandson, which I was having a conversation with him yesterday, went to college, got a qualification. Like, he went 4 years to college, got his qualification, and can't get a job. It's who you know in this country. But it's who you know in this country. And then my problem is that I'm living in fear over, I say, everything, which leads to me having really bad anxiety. Yeah, the cancer really helped me understand the root of my problem. Yeah, that's the other thing with my mother does suffer from anxiety. Change is kind of an issue sometimes in that it's not a bad thing. It's just when she gets that anxiety attack or that panic attack, it leads to a lot of, it's hard for me to kind of get through that. Like, look, it's all going to be fine and everything's going to be fine. She has got a lot better, honestly. Like, but a lot of people suffer from anxiety. I'm just going to say a lot of people do, and it's very hard to, like, because you have people that don't have it, like myself. And when you're looking at the outside, and you're like, why are you panicking about this? It's only something small. But then when you really take a step back, this is why I'm always saying to people, take that step back, take a step back and see from their perspective. When they're having a panic attack, anxiety attack, that is a big deal for them. It might not be a big deal for you. Yes, we do hate typing.
I get that, and it's like what I was talking to you about earlier, where I was talking to you about like whole finance things and everything. I'm just like, to me, it's overwhelming. To you, it's like nothing. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because
I understand you're overwhelmed.
I think of the bigger picture when it comes to things. I'm not sticking with this one thing. I'm always like, okay, yeah, it might seem like a big thing now, but if you really think about everything that goes into something, finances or whatever, it all comes down to, like, you will get there eventually if you work towards it. And that goes for any goal. Always have goals. All right. Another thing I learned with the gym and with life in general, you want to have small goals and big goals. Okay, so let's break this down real quick. What can be a short-term goal? Somebody give me a short-term goal real quick, just off the top of your head. Short-term. Something to work on.
Losing 10 pounds.
Right, that's a short-term goal. Now, what is a long-term goal from that short-term goal?
Being able to run a marathon.
Right, so, and in between all that, if you keep going with, like, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds here, now I want to lose another 5, whatever. By the time you get to that running a marathon thing, you're going to be in great shape because you've already dropped down all these, getting out of bed. Like, that could be tough for some people as well. It's just, you got to tell yourself, okay, today's going to be a good day. I am going to, I'm going to go out and do whatever I need to do. And focus on that small goal. Like, yes, getting out of bed is a hard goal a lot of the time for most people. Especially when you're suffering with, like, depression, anxiety, all this stuff. It's the hardest thing in the world to get up. It's just finding that outlet and what makes you happy to make them goals a little bit easier. For me, when I was at the gym originally, I had goals. All right, so my first goal was like getting to 85 kilo, as we go in kilos over here. I know pounds and all the rest of that. So 85 kilo for those is like
170 pounds.
175, 180-ish pounds. Like, it's in between all that. So I got that now. Right now I'm sitting at around 83 kilos. So I'm at like 182, whatever. So I've already hit that goal. Hey, Lizzie, welcome. Welcome to the podcast stream. Hey, Ellie, welcome. So, in turn, people, you need to take risks. You need to stop being afraid to take risks because the fear is what is stopping you. And, like, because I was just scrolling through TikTok and this guy came up, motivational speaker sort of thing. And he was talking about, like, the only thing that stops us is us. The only thing that stops us is that fear of failure and the fear of risk. Knowing people that can put out a good word for you can nail you a job. That is 100% true. It's who you know. Yes. It is who you know, especially in Ireland. That's what I was saying about the qualification things. It is who you know, not your qualifications. I went in and I got an interview for McDonald's like about a year ago or so. And I went down there, shaved, nice, cleanly shaved, nice shirt on, looking the part to do the interview. And anyway, I went in, he asked me, what's my biggest inspiration? Okay, before I answer this question, I want to ask all you, what is your biggest inspiration in life for doing the things you do? What is your biggest inspiration? Your dogs? Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
My own self-worth.
All right, that's actually very good. My biggest inspiration that I said was my mother. Okay. Many reasons for this. One, This woman has so many talents that a lot of people would struggle with. My mother, okay, now I'm going to give her compliments, which she's probably going to be like, oh, don't do this to me. She made my sister's dress from scratch for my cousin's wedding. She completely altered my cousin's wedding dress to the point where it was a completely new dress where you'd pay like thousands of euro or dollars or whatever to get this done. I mean, she made this dress. So you know the way with wedding dresses at the bottom, they're always long, and when it comes to dancing, it's really hard for women to dance in them. Mm-hmm. She literally has this brain on her where she cut the thing and made it so it came off. The bottom of it came off and it turned into a shorter wedding dress. Now, you tell me where the fuck this brain comes from, as I have no idea. She also is able to bake, decorate cakes. I mean, if she ever got the confidence, she could make a fucking killing doing dresses and doing cakes. No word of a lie. She can make a killing. Yes, with the two brothers that passed away, they made us appreciate the little things in life that we can actually do. Although after a while of depression, you forget about all that, but then it comes back to you when you're out of all that. So with the whole, when I answered that question anyway, I went back home because I'm still on the job interview thing. Back home, the day after I got an email saying you didn't get the job, and the day after that they hired on teenagers.
It's because teenagers will also work for cheaper.
Exactly. Over here, by law, over here, for a managerial position, I think it's like $15.50 an hour. For basic wage, it's in McDonald's, it is €11, and for minimum wage here is $9.50 an hour. But anyone under the age of 18, they can actually pay them anywhere between €6 to €8 an hour. Down off the table. Down off the table. There's nothing on the table for you, Snow. So yeah. Well, like, it's the truth. I don't bullshit. I've told you this before. I always compliment you. I've actually complimented my mother in front of so many people, and I just need her to hear these words because it's the actual fucking truth of the matter. If a lot of people could do what she could do, the world, would be... I don't even know. For instance, let's go for a funnier story. This green screen. Alright? I was trying to figure out how to put this motherfucker up. I was getting pissed off. Alright? I was like, okay. And then she's like, okay, why don't you just get some rope and hang it up? Because there's 2 bars over each side of this room. I was like, why the fuck didn't I think of that? And then it was too short this way. So she's like, okay, just get some clothes peg it on there. And I was like, right? I was here thinking about fucking 2.5 hours. How the hell do I get this green screen to work? And she's there, just doing this. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. So yeah,
people's minds just work different ways.
Yes, but she's a very, very intelligent mind, and it's insane. I get a little bit of it, not as much, but it's in a different way. Huh?
That's why I say that's why when I saw, so you know how they say you can work somebody who always follows the rules for a job, gets everything done step by step, or you can find the person, hire somebody who will take the shortcuts. Exactly. You hire the person who takes the shortcuts because they find the faster, easier way to get the job done than the other person. And so that's why you hire people with different mentalities, because they help bring out the good in each other.
And that's where it goes to, you put a problem in front of 100 people. See how they solve that problem, and it's going to be different for nearly each and every single person. Now, some people are going to solve it the same way, obviously, because there's only a certain amount of ways to solve the problem. But it comes down to the thing, like, which came first, chicken or the egg? That kind of thing, like, which way you're going to solve this issue, basically. So, yeah. My coffee's gone. Damn it. So...
Feel about my water.
Down to the point of back to not being afraid to take risks. Just don't be afraid. Just do it. 9 times out to 90% of the time, it's going to work in your favor. Yes, there's going to be that 10% of the time where it's not going to work at all, but hey, learn from that. So yeah, that's basically that topic in a nutshell, I think, unless you have any more.
I was going to just add, there's a quote that it's actually in National Treasure, and he's talking about, Thomas Edison, you failed over 100 times on how to make a light bulb. And Thomas Edison's response was like, I didn't fail 100 times. I learned over 100 ways how not to make a light bulb.
Exactly.
So it's all your perspective on it. If you look at it by, this is teaching me a lesson instead of, I failed and I suck or whatever. And you look at it more of a teaching moment, and like this is how not to do this in the future. Next time I need to try it a different way. It'll help change a lot of the anxiety and negative feelings towards failing.
Exactly. Like, look, that's the thing as well. And like another thing I noticed as well growing up is people were afraid to use like I love doing this or I love doing that. It's always like, it was all right, or I like it, or it was never, they were too afraid to fucking say like they really like something, or I don't understand how to explain that properly, but you get what I'm saying. It's like they were bottled up inside. How do I explain this properly? Anybody? No.
You bottle up your emotions until it like just comes out.
Yeah, that's it. So it's like bottling up your feelings. You're too afraid to say, I love this. It's like, that's all right, because I'm so deep down inside. I have everything pushed so far down. I'm afraid to express my emotions properly, or express that I really love this. Like, I get it, because I used to be the same way. I used to spend 98% of my time in my bedroom, just with my own thoughts. Now, very unhealthy. Very, very unhealthy. But even when I wasn't in there, I was afraid to express that this is what is going on, or afraid to talk about what's going on in my head, because I was afraid, this might end in a disaster or anything else, because a lot of people are too afraid to be straightforward when it comes to talking. They'll lie about stuff, or they'll bend the truth. There is a personal situation that we're going through right now, which I'm not going to explain in detail because it's relatively new, but for instance, I'm dead straightforward, but my other sibling doesn't always is too afraid to discuss things properly. And
it's a proven fact. There was a study done, I don't remember what, it's 60% of people will lie at least once in a 10-minute conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
The statistics for that.
Yeah, it's true. Yes. So it's like, it's like, don't be afraid to be honest. Be upfront about stuff. Be upfront about everything and anything you're going through, or what you need to discuss. Because if you're too afraid to be dead straightforward with your parents, or if you have no parents, whoever your guardian is, or all the rest of that, and then you lie about it, and 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 you lie about it, eventually when the truth comes out, it's so much worse than if you just said it in the first place. About school, I failed my exams, and sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it's like the whole once you lie, it's easy to continue lying, and it's harder to bring up the truth.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh yeah. So with the mother, so she failed like a lot of things. She has dyslexia as well, like and it's like she did the healthcare course and got the highest grades you can get in every single category.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why the way I was when I went back into my education, I got mostly all the highest grades. I did get 1 or 2 of the medium grade. So the way it goes is merit, this pass, merit, and distinction. Distinction would be the highest, merit is the second highest, and a pass is just a pass, which is like 50. So for a pass, like 50 to 69%, or that. For a merit, it is 69 to 85% or something like that, and a distinction is 85 and above. And every single one that I did, I got between 92 and 98% on absolutely everything. They were going to mark me. Work experience is a thing here where you go out 2 weeks on work experience, or so on and so forth, and you go and get a job for 2 weeks. Now, they were going to mark me pretty low on that. And the reason why is because the guy that was supposed to fill out the report only filled out yes. But they saw Charlie, which was the tutor at the time, saw I literally was power hosing a slaughterhouse that day. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, blood, piss, and shit, literally, inside the slaughterhouse when I'm power hosing it. She comes down anyway and sees I am actually covered in shit. Like, literally, blood and shit. She comes down and sees it. And she's like, well, you're definitely working hard. I said, yeah, I'm doing the job. I've said when I work hard. No doubt about it. And the only picture she took was of me, because everybody else was just doing basic jobs like retail and all the rest of that. I was down there actually working my fucking ass off. I was working from 8 o'clock in the morning to 4 p.m. in the evening. Then I went to the gym afterwards. By the time I got home, all right, no problem, ma. By the time I got home, it was 9 p.m. in the evening. So I had a long day ahead of me. And yet I did that every day for 2 weeks. And they were going to give me only a pass on that. But she showed them the photo and all the rest of that, and it proved that I actually did the fucking work. So, note to self, I think you're more intelligent when you're in your 20s than when you're younger, because you have so many more distractions when you're in school than what you do when you're out of school. I really do. Well, at least for me anyway, not for everybody.
It's also, I think, like, I don't know in Ireland how much it's pushed, but my friends in Australia, like, they really push you to take a gap year between, like, I don't know, it's not high school everywhere, I know, but like between high school and college. And I think that should be a thing everywhere, because in high school and school, you do have some distractions. You do sports and they push you to do all these clubs, and then you're supposed to be like cool and hang out with friends or whatever and all this stuff. And if you take a gap year and you learn what you actually like and are truly interested in, you're going to do better in your later classes and stuff, because it's actually what you want to do.
Exactly. It's always it's the same way with work. Be passionate in your work. Be passionate. If you're not passionate about something, you're going to just be shit at it. What pissed me off, which I actually am not pissed off about anymore, but I was when I was in school. So there was woodworking and there was computers. Now, I wanted to take woodworking when I was in school, and I'm glad that they moved me down to computers, because I came very fucking intelligent on the computer thing. I am cute. I am, what's that word? I am I'm very intelligent when it comes to computers.
Adept.
Adept and resourceful. Like, I can look at a computer or look at a technical problem, I'd be able to sort it out for you within an hour or two, give or take. Depends on how severe. Because with this laptop I have right now, it was my friend's older laptop. It's 5 years old, maybe 5.5 years. He did not look after it whatsoever. So it needed a new hard drive. So I had to go out and replace the hard drive. Easy done on this laptop, luckily enough. And then the fan went on the fucking thing. I was like, oh, for the love of fuck. So I had to go and get the fan replaced, which cost me another €50. All in all, I've only spent €125 on this laptop, whereas he was about to just throw it away. So it goes to tell you, like, if you can look into problems. I spent 7 hours trying to fix it without replacing the hard drive as well. Just let's put that one out there as well. I wasn't just going to fucking give away a laptop with 16 gigs of RAM and an alright processor and that for nothing, you know? So if somebody's throwing something out and you think you can repair it, try it. That's another thing. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think now. There was other things I was thinking about, and I'm trying to remember. It was shit. I'm after losing my train of thought. Anybody have something there? Topic? That.
I did, but
I was gonna say I was so involved in listening to what you were saying that I kind of like wasn't.
All right, well,
thoughts of my own.
Let's go. Let's keep going on here then. All right, so you had that issue with your sound alerts not working, for instance, on OBS, and then I streamed my screen when you were in there just so you could see what I was talking about with the cogs and all the rest of that to break it down for you. Did it work for you?
I didn't do it. I was in the middle of streaming myself, so like I watched you do it, but then I went to go do it and I forgot. I'm one of those I don't remember.
So. I can.
If you, I guess it works for my viewers, and that's what's important, is it comes up in my chat or my, like, this is your recent activity.
The next time,
so that's fine.
When I'm streaming, actually, do you have OBS right now open? Quick question.
I don't, because it messes with my camera.
All right, well, yes, right. So that's not
maybe if I.
No. What'll happen is
if I open it,
after tomorrow when I'm streaming, okay. I will show you again before you start streaming. Just tune into my stream before you start streaming. I'll quickly deep dive into that and show you exactly what to do so you can fix it. It's very easy to fix. It's one of the most simple things, because OBS Studio I actually have learned how to use properly. When I first saw it, I was like,
I haven't.
What the fuck is this? Like, what am I even doing? Creating new scenes? Like, I had to. What I did actually, because I was having the issues with this working the last time, I created a whole podcast scene. So I didn't really have a scene with just everything in it for the podcast. And also I had to turn the camera off on each and every single tab, so it just works for Discord that the camera's there. That's what I did. What you can do as well is you can hide. If you do the hide thing or deactivate the camera, it will deactivate OBS completely, and then you can just have it here. Okay. So there's information that took me a while. Also, audio took a while to learn how to do. Because whereas before when I was streaming or doing anything, it was all from the console, directly from the controller. Quick question: can somebody actually test me a sound alert there while we're sitting here?
I got you. Oh, sorry, I skipped it first.
Oh yeah, you asked me to take my glasses off, by the way, a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, they work perfect. Thanks, Denise. Hey, Denise is still there. So, Denise, any topics? Any topics you want discussed?
Oh, that's where they are. I was like, where are the sound alerts?
They are on the sound alert tab. There's quite a few of them. Some of them, I have some of them cost bits, but I'm not one of them people that's going to put the bits at like 50 bits minimum. I've seen streamers like that, and I'm like, 50 bits for a fucking sound alert?
Yeah.
My sound alerts are still doubling? Hang on, what you mean? That might just be on your end. Because somebody else tell me if they doubled again. Because that happened before, where it was just doubling for you, and it wasn't doubling for anyone else. Unless you're in Dublin.
Trying to not.
See, I can unmute your.
Yeah, try that and see. Try.
So I can listen.
Yeah, check what you get there.
Yeah, that's not working for me. Okay.
Jeez, that's so little. Okay.
I want to be a pain in the butt.
By the way, if you're wondering why I'm looking over to the right, I've on my TV I have all the chat. All right, that worked. Yeah, did that double?
I'm waiting to see if it does it again. No, it's just once for me.
Yeah, so I think that's on you, Denise, again. Because I'm not going working in my settings. I don't know why it doubles for you. That's so fucking weird. So there's a reason
I
why
did not like hearing my own voice.
I doubt any topics. Hey, no, you can still join. You know,
Yeah.
you can still join.
It's always nice to have another voice.
And if you've got an opinion on anything, just speak up. Only one side output in Twitch. I don't know. Yeah, like, look, if you want to still join the chat, more than welcome. You know, it's open to you. You don't have to talk all the time, but I like it. It was funny the last time. I do really need to run to the bathroom and grab a drink real quick, so give me 2 minutes. You can keep talking amongst each other there when I'm gone. Of course, keep the podcast going.
Okay, so we get to talk about Craig now while he's gone.
Yeah, talk away.
Yeah. Let's just make fun of his beard, no beard, and
hey, there's like very good reason for that no beard, which I'm not going to discuss until October. Till October.
And his head, you know.
Till October. Okay, I'm gonna hold you to that. October 1st. I'm gonna. What?
I don't know what he said. What did he say?
I think he said it's after October 1st. I'm not positive.
So how's your sleep schedule going so far?
Good. This week it'll be back to normal. I've streamed every day this week because of being gone, but I don't usually do that. And it's been a lot. I have not been keeping up with like cleaning my house and stuff because of it. But
yeah.
This week we'll be back to normal after today. Like, I don't normally stream on Sundays, but I'm gonna do it today after this.
Nice. What are you gonna stream?
Smite. I don't feel like playing anything else. And then I'm gonna start releasing like official schedules and actually change the one on my Twitch because I've been dropping them just in Discord. But
yeah,
I am going to actually release schedules that are correct from now on. Because on Twitch it says I just play Smite, and I'm trying to get away from that. I want to start playing the games I actually truly enjoy. Well, I like Smite too, but there are a lot of games that I haven't been playing because I'm like, oh, nobody will want to watch me stream it. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to do it.
Yeah. I've learned, I've kind of learned the Smite schedule, same with Rogue Company, of when the best times to stream that is, at least for me. But I don't know.
What's that?
It's different for every game.
We're talking about stream schedules. So the weirdest thing, my best days for Smite are Tuesdays.
Yeah,
I have no idea why. It's just like such a random day. I don't know if it's because like other streamers aren't on or what, but
I just find with streaming in general, like yesterday when I was playing Jackbox, 44 minutes before another person came in. But yeah, some Saturdays, 20 minutes. People know I'm going to be streaming Jackbox on a Saturday. I always say I do it once a week. But it's getting to that point now where people ain't turning up and I'm waiting 44 fucking minutes on my stream before I can even start a game. So if it keeps happening, Jackbox is going to have to be cut out because I can't. This was the problem. It happened before. I cut it out for a couple of weeks, came back to it, and then more people came in. You know, what?
I was like, why don't you just play more music while you're waiting, so you're not just sitting there doing nothing?
True.
The other thing is yesterday I like stayed up all night. Literally, I did my stream at like whatever 8 or 9. What day was yesterday? Saturday.
Yes, it was Saturday.
So Friday, I started at like 9 or whatever, and then I ended up playing Smite until 4 or 5 in the morning. So I not all on stream, but I played all day and ended up staying up until I took my dog on a walk, and then I did a like hour and a half stream of Smite without going to bed, and then went to bed. So I missed yours, but I was gonna say I want to start doing Jackbox, so I can always try to do it at the same time as you and just like host your channel.
Yeah, you could try hosting. That's not a bad idea, actually. On Saturday, like, you know, hosting the channel would actually work because at least more people from your end will see, okay, yeah, this person's actually. Do you actually, quick question, do you have a promo on your Discord?
What's a sub promo?
Self promo.
Self promo. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, I never even saw it. I must. There is a bot that Susie knows that would automatically shout out.
I know. Yeah. I need to
because
do that. I didn't set up any of my Discord myself. Somebody did it for me because she's a lovely person.
Yeah.
And so I need to figure out how to have bots run and stuff. But yeah, there is a self promo underneath the gym grounds in mine.
Yeah. Of course.
Nobody's used it yet, but that's okay.
I'll use it.
No, the StreamCord bot is amazing because then you don't have to do the self promo. It'll just automatically post for you as long as your Discord is connected to your Twitch.
That's it. That's exactly what it does. Even though mine actually, for once, decided it wanted to be on time with my stream. Usually it waits about 15 minutes before it posts it out, but actually posted it out within a minute. I was like, oh.
I'll have to go into Susie's and
I think
see what bot it is.
It's called StreamCord.
Yeah.
StreamCord would usually do that.
Just don't do a Craig and like completely forget to, because he did it on his Discord. He set it up on his Discord only, but he forgot to do it online as well. So don't pull a Craig. But I still need to go through your StreamCord on your Discord and figure out why Denise and me aren't popping up.
Why you don't pop up? It makes no sense. The only thing I can think of is because both your mods, and that's kind of dumb. Like, it should.
Yeah, because I'm a mod on my own channel, and I still come up. Everybody comes up as long as it's connected.
I don't get it. Like, it's like my one's possessed. It just no shouting out.
I can figure it out now.
Stop feeling bad, Denise. It's there for a reason. You need to promote your stream. That is the whole idea. I've had this discussion with you. Tell you, I would fight you for a $5 at this point. Feel bad.
Well, soon enough, Denise, hopefully you won't have to feel bad because they'll automatically post it for you.
I'll go well anyway if the fucking bot would ever work. But the point being is, I am a very friendly person and I like people to succeed, as I've said already. I do. I want to see everybody succeed. And for a person to come in and literally donate or gift 100 subs in basically 2 weeks, like 50 and 50, that I never thought would happen in my goddamn lifetime. And then the amount of bits on top of it, I was there like, holy fucking shit. This is insanity. Like, what the fuck, you know? Never expected that. Yeah. And that I couldn't appreciate any more than I do. Like, I can't show how I appreciate it, obviously. It's just make more content, I guess, at this point. That's where I get to the point when you get that much money off of someone, you're just there, how do I give back? I don't know. And it's weird. It's very weird. It's a weird feeling to know you're succeeding. I've never succeeded at anything in my life, and to know that I'm succeeding at streaming is honestly, it's surreal. It doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel like I'm at 222 followers and 119 subscribers.
Yeah.
And if this keeps growing the way it's growing, the Twitch does, that bikini stream goes just around the corner. Just
I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm not, but it is just around the corner. And also, then the 700 followers, I have to get that tattoo on my finger. And I'm thinking...
Are you going to get a mustache?
No. I don't need it. All I have to do if I want a mustache is just wait for this to grow and then just shave everything else off. Although I look very weird. No. I don't want to look like a pervert walking around. Thank you very much.
I was going to say, only like very select people can pull off
And
mustaches without looking creepy. Like my uncle is one of them.
And
He looks,
I know for a
fits his
fact,
face.
I know for a fact with the way my face shape is, if I just went like that, just with the mustache, no. No. I look like a predator walking around. Thank you very much, but no, thank you.
I told my boyfriend that one time when he did it.
I can do a goatee. I'm thinking maybe doing a goatee next. If you want to see that, yeah, sure, why not? I'll do it where I shave off the mustache and keep everything, just keep this part here, and we see how it goes. I've done a goatee a long time ago. Didn't look half bad, so that's when I had hair. So we'll see what it looks like when I'm bald. Or I'm gonna whatever this is called, the soul patch, or what the fuck is that called? Is it a soul patch?
Soul patch is just on your chin.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is doing the extended one where you shave it here. And
then... Yeah, where it's connected. That's a goatee.
Yeah. Okay. Grand. Yeah. So like that's the other thing as well. Let's actually go on to a topic about facial hair now, since we're talking about it. Some people do not look good with facial hair. Some people look good with facial hair, and then some people look like predators with facial hair. Simple fact. You've got 3 categories. And then you got the people that think, yeah, this looks good, and then they just look like they're about to go and do something illegal. Yeah, so let's just say be very careful with your facial hair choice as a man. And do not for the life of you do the Hitler or the Charlie Chaplin. Because you're asking for a disaster at that point. Like, they're why are you trying to start World War III at this point? You know what I mean?
Yes.
I understood why that's still like a facial haircut that people do.
Well, in my honest opinion, these things need to stop being so fucking stupid. Like the Nazi symbol and the mustache need to be done, because Charlie Chaplin was the original person that had this facial hair, and the swastika is a Jewish peace symbol.
Hindu.
Or Hindu, is it Hindu?
And it's a Hindu. Well, maybe Jewish as well. I know it's big in Hindu, slightly different, but it's a peaceful symbol in Hinduism.
Exactly. But this is the problem: when one person turns a symbol into something devastating, now you can't use that symbol, or you're called racist, or you're called a Nazi sympathizer, or all the rest of that. When you're not, you're a fucking. You could just be a fucking normal person, just like, I just want to express that I like this culture or whatever. But you can't now because Hitler ruined it, or somebody ruined it,
Yeah.
But that's the thing. What else? I'm still trying to think of the other topics that I had in my mind now, and I can't fucking think of them. There was a few more. Oh, I hate when I get to this point where my brain goes blank. This is why I should have wrote stuff down. We say this every week, and I still forget.
I should have written stuff down. I was going to. I literally have a Google page open last night about good topics, and then I forget what happened, and I just didn't go back to it.
Let's give it. Actually, I do have another topic about being a mute, about being able to play guitar. Obviously, I said I couldn't sing because I thought I couldn't. This is the true fact, right? And there's a reason for this. Back when I was doing covers of songs years ago, I mean 2019, 2018-ish, I was covering songs, putting them on Facebook. I had people in my own town that knew me that made fun of my singing voice and said, you can't sing, and put me down. Now, how is that going to make you feel? Because you can't hear your own voice, you already know this. And then when you listen back to it, you think you sound like shit because everybody says you sound like shit. Recently though, I put 2 covers up over on YouTube for anyone that has looked at them. I listened to the first one back and I was like, wait, that's the way my voice actually sounds? What the fuck? What the fuck were people? What? I was like, that can't be me. That kind of way? So it shows when people put a toxic idea in your head that you can't sing, it's because most of the time they're jealous because they can't. And there's a good segue to jealousy. When people are jealous of you, they don't want to see you succeed. They don't want to see you happy. They don't want to see you living your life the way you would want to live it, because they're the ones that want that life. They're the ones that want to have the motivation to live a life that you're actually living, and they don't have the balls or the confidence or whatever you want to call it to do what you're doing. they don't have the drive to take that back to risks again, the same sort of thing. But because they are so deep down inside, just don't have a clue what they want to do with life, or all they care about is going out drinking every weekend and hanging out with friends, and they don't have any drive or goals. They want to belittle you because they know they can't do what you do. And that's what it stems back to. And that's where bullying occurs as well.
Yeah, that's like you said earlier, like some people just don't want to see you succeed, and a lot of people don't want to see you be better than them, and it's really unfortunate. And like as you already mentioned, obviously that's where a lot of bullies do come from, and it's a place of.
But that's it. It's like with the whole streamer thing. When say if a streamer's ahead of you, which I have a great example of that one. My quote unquote friend at the time that streamed back then, and he still streams probably to this day, but I haven't really tuned into any of his streams for a good reason. Because when I started getting like more viewers than him, he would never promote me. When I hit an affiliate, for instance, I went into one of his streams. It was a Jackbox stream. About, I think how many months have I been an affiliate? 6 months, give or take. I went into his stream to like just say, look, I'm happy I'm an affiliate and all the rest of this, and he kept trying to interrupt me when I was trying to say, look, I'm just trying to explain what's going on, and after that I just stopped interacting with his stream, stopped going in there, because I was thinking, if I can't get a little bit ahead of you, of course he has more followers than me, but he's been doing it for like 6 years. I've been back streaming maybe 8 months, give or take, and it's just because, as you know, when you come into my stream, I'm just me. I'm not this fake fucking persona you see. I'm not this fake person. For anyone that's talked to me off stream, you can attest to this. Am I different?
Yes, you are totally different.
Excuse me, missus?
No, you're pretty much the same.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a little bit of down. Like,
you swear a little bit more, maybe.
Smile a little bit more, or
you swear a little bit more,
but
maybe.
Stuff like that. When we're in our podcast, I'm trying to keep my swearing to a minimum for a reason.
Right, that's what I mean. That's
because I want to get my point of view across without having to be like, fuck this and fuck that and fuck. You know, no, I can get my point of view across like that. But when I'm playing games, it's a bit different because.
Can you get your point across that or no? I'm just kidding.
Watch your profanity.
Jesus Christ, that was loud. Holy crap. But anyway, it's just to the point where it's not being afraid to be you. And if people are doing what I said, you need to just distance them from your life and don't be afraid to lose people, as we kind of, touched upon last Sunday. I think it was, wasn't it?
I don't know. I just remember one thing you said you wanted to talk about was mental health, but you kind of went over that.
I'm covering that with basically everything.
Yeah, that's what I said. You kind of already went over that. That's the only thing I remember you said you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, because everybody has their mental health, and mental health is going into every single topic we're talking about. Because when you can start seeing all this shit that I'm talking about, you'll start seeing your mental health improve. All these things go hand in hand with your mental health, getting help. Just being you, not being afraid to put yourself out there, not being afraid to take risks, not being afraid to, love yourself. That's all mental health related. All this, your mental health is your wealth. When your mental health is not there, you're going to go off and drink yourself into a stupor. You're going to go off and fucking, do stupid shit because you're trying so hard to block out the pain that the pain is never going to go unless you're willing to talk about it and you're willing to be yourself and open up and be honest. Because if you're lying about little details because you're afraid what people might think, you're going, what else are you lying about?
Right.
That's another thing. Never lie about the little details. Always, always be yourself. Actually, I'll give you a great story about this now. I was going through a very shitty time at one point a while back, and this was before I switched rooms. I was in a really smaller room, the other room over there. It's not small, but it was smaller. This room is fucking massive, and I was having a bad day one day. My PS5 controller was broken. The triangle button was broken, so I had to ship that off. There was a lot of arguments in the house at the time between my mother and sister, which my sister's no longer living in the house. They're getting the relationship is kind of iffy at the moment. Like it's up and down, you know. Because as I said, lies, trust issues come lies, you know. There's a good valid explanation to that. Anyway, on this day in particular, I went up to my friend's house, and after dropping the controller off to be shipped and everything, so I'm having a pretty just bad day in general. I'm feeling like shit, everything. So I went up to my friend to have a chat with him. And one of my friends, which is an English girl, was pretty close to her. You know, we talked mostly every day. You know, we just got on well. It was just a friendship thing. And she rings up that day and has a conversation with me. And then she hangs up out of nowhere and then rings, like on the phone, she said to me, the only reason why I rang you is to talk to Dermot. And I was like, and I told her earlier that day I'm having a shitty day. Like, I'm really not feeling well mentally. And then she hung up on me and rang him, and he's sitting across the table. And I said, that was just absolute disrespectful, and that just made me feel like crap. So I texted her when I got home, and I was like, you do realize what you did hurt me. It made me feel more down than I was, and I told you I was down that day. And then she tried to make out that I was the one in the wrong, and she started hating me because I told her, like, she hurt me. So to this day, she hasn't apologized. And she said she'll never apologize.
Sounds like a real winner.
And I was the one that was there for her when she was having shitty days. I was the one that was there for her when she was down and out and needed help. And that was the thanks I got back in return. I'm not mentioning names because I don't want anybody to go hate the person. That's not me. But they're the people that you just need out of your life. They're not worth your time. This is the type of people I was talking about. Because when they want something and you're there for them, they're like, oh, all happy and Larry. But when they do something to hurt you and you confront them on it, they play the victim. That's a very good topic about people playing victim. All right. Anybody have any good examples of that one?
I'll say you're going into narcissist territory with that.
Yes.
Hey, that's my dad.
I think we all know at least one narcissist in our life.
Yeah, because this is how topics come about. You talk about one thing and it stems into another thing. So, a narcissistic personality is, they will only be there when they need something, and then when they do something to hurt you, they're going to turn around and play victim like you did something to hurt them, even though you did nothing wrong. And they'll never take responsibility for when they do something wrong. And they always have to be the center of attention as well. From what I've experienced, they always have to be the center of attention. Like, oh yeah, like, love me, I'll be me, you know, I'm here, you know. She was also part of my streams a while back, actually, a long time ago. Don't start deep diving into my stream history, please, because as I said, no hate for this person. And she was always flirting with me, always, you know, playing innocent then, and then like, oh no, I didn't mean it like that, or I didn't want to be like this. And she was always, you know, wanting that center. Anyone that's been around for a long time will know who I'm talking about. Denise will probably know who I'm talking about. And basically, it got to the point where she just hurt me and never apologized. So I got to that point. That's a narcissist right there, where they hurt you and they want you to apologize. Yeah, no. Anybody else have a great story of a narcissist in their life?
That's great at manipulation.
Very good at manipulation. They will wrap you around their little finger.
I said I have a story, but I'm not ready to share that.
I have a story.
You don't need
that I'll share.
You don't need to share it if you don't want to. All right, go for it.
So my parents didn't get divorced until I was like 16, and my siblings are like 8 and 10 years older than me. So they were together for like most of our childhood. But my mom raised us. My dad was one of those people that is, I worked all day, so I don't need to do anything once I get home. Types of people. And my mom worked too, like, so, but whatever. And we never had the best relationship here. It was one of those, like, oh yeah, you hang out or whatever by watching a movie, but then, like, he falls asleep or whatever. And so when my parents did get divorced, or maybe I was only 14 because 16 seems a little old, but you're at that age, like that age, 14, 16, whatever, especially for girls, like you go hang out with your friends all the time. You're not home and you don't do stuff with your parents. Like that's not cool. Hi, puppy. And so it was like our snowball, which is like a winter dance thing similar to prom, a little less formal, and it's for all grades. And I was like, oh yeah, so it happened to fall on the weekend that I was with my dad. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go to so-and-so's house and get ready there. Oh, well, then you're going to come here to take pictures, right? And I'm like, no, like, why would I do that? Whatever. And he literally, like, threw a temper tantrum and tried to make me feel bad about wanting to go to my friend's house whenever it is my weekend with him. He was like, oh, I have to go work on this apartment. He owned apartments. So, like, I have to go work on this apartment today, or I have to go do this, and never actually spent time with me. But the one time that it was my plans and my choice to go do something, all of a sudden it's your weekend with me. You're supposed to spend this time with me.
Yep.
And that's one example.
Sounds like a great... Like, my parents separated when I was 16. Very abusive relationship between my mother and my father. No joke. But basically, my sister was a daddy's girl, you know, that kind of way. Always wanted his attention. But the way it went was, when she wanted anything from my father would go run, you know, go get that, do anything. Whereas when I asked him for something, oh no, go walk, go get it your fucking self. Two different upbringings. Nowadays, my sister is more like my father, and I am
surprise.
I am like my mother in most senses. We both are very, very similar people. We both have the same thought process. We hate lies. We hate bullshit. We're both fucking dead honest about stuff. We don't fucking beat around the bush. Because I learned that a long, long time ago, beating around the bush gets you fucking nowhere. It might get you a new bush, but to get you nowhere than that.
I would say, Jesse, your story kind of is similar to one of the things I've actually gone through back when my parents separated. They weren't actually married, but you know, custody arrangements and everything like that. We were with my mom for a long time, and I remember after we finally got placed with my dad, I was the only one who had to have, you know, who had the option, who didn't have an option to say no or yes to visitation. So I had visitations with my mom, and I was so excited. Like I was like, yes, because I was a mommy's girl. Like I love my mom. And I remember one time he took us to Chuck E. Cheese's, which he never did. My mom was the one who always took us out to Chuck E. Cheese's, places like that. So I really loved it. But this one time he took us to Chuck E. Cheese's just for the heck of it. And everybody went in. And while everybody was going in, he's like, no, you stay in the car because I want to talk to you first. And so I was in the car and he's talking to me and he's like, when you go to your mom's or when you go to visit your mom, you can't be happy. Make it look like you're not happy, like you're miserable and all this crap. Because if you do, then they're going to say, okay, well, you clearly enjoy this. And it's going to go on from there. You're going to have visitations every weekend and eventually get to the point where you get to stay with her for a weekend and then live with her. And then if you live with her, you're never going to see your sisters again. So he knew exactly how to get me to not want to do that. So like I said, I was excited for this. I couldn't wait. But the day came where I finally got to go see her. And I just remembered everything he said. And I went from like happy to, holy shit, I don't want this because I don't want to lose my sisters. And so I just started crying in there. And I was 6 years old.
That is
so
fucked up. Like, unbelievable.
Yeah, that just pissed me off, like looking back at it.
Like,
So,
another great story about my great father. Like, don't get me wrong, he had his demons. Every fucking person does, but he never went for help. This is why I always preach good mental health. Anyway, he was supposed to be spending time with me one day, which is something we didn't do very often because, as I said, he was more into, you know, bonding with my sister and stuff like that than he was with me. And the day we went to spend together, he spent gambling. We went into a town called Clonmel, which is just 30 minutes drive that way, and literally set inside in a gambling hole for 2 hours, 3 hours, and I was told to just keep that quiet. We did this, that, and the other thing on the day, and I'm going to lie because I'm like 13, 14 at the time, and he, you know, who isn't afraid of their father at that age? So, it's just the way it always was. Like, he, you know, would always play the victim. Now, Snow, stop this. I'm trying to talk. You gotta stop. No, don't look at me like that. I said, no, don't look at me like that. But yeah, he was just more of, he was an alcoholic and a gambler, like, for years. That's why I don't really like alcohol and why I would never gamble, because I don't want to take after my father ever. So, even though I know I'm not him and I never could be him, but there's always that thing in your brain, like, what are you doing? Like, why would you do this? Sit here. You know what I mean? And that's the thing as well. If one of your parents is a fucking absolute dumb fuck, doesn't mean you're going to turn out like that unless you want to. It means you need to learn from what they did and strive to become a better person.
You are in control of your own life.
Exactly.
Nobody else is. You make the calls and shots.
And yet people will still think that got to know who your father was and what he done, or vice versa, your mother, she did the same thing, and they're going to end up painting you with that brush and thinking you are them. That's one thing you have to prove people wrong on, and you don't even need to. But if you really want to prove people wrong, just don't act like your parent that's been a fucking donkey. Just don't. You are you. You are unique. You are one of a kind, and you need to start finding who you are so you can be that one of a kind person. And don't let people put you down for you being yourself. I've always been myself because I don't like people putting me down. I don't like people. I like to prove people wrong. Funny story about proving someone wrong one day. So I'm not the biggest guy. I really ain't, as I've said many times, but I'm not the strongest guy. But I am pretty fucking strong. Let's just get this straight. I am. And that's not to toot my own horn. You can go look at my fucking Instagram page just for proof on that. My friend one day said to me, well, a guy that I was a friend with, he's gone to like Scotland anyway, said to me one day, you don't work out that hard, you don't lift that heavy. I said to him, come up and do a workout with me. So basically challenged him to come up and work out with me to see, so he could see what what I'm capable of. He came up, he lasted half a workout and fucked off. Because he realized soon after I wasn't bullshitting. I put him through his paces. Like I put myself through my paces. And my friend Steven, which is probably not in the chat anymore, I'll give you a great example about the one time he came working out with me. We did back and biceps. He got through the whole workout. I give him fucking props for that. But for 5 days after, he could barely stretch, move his back. He couldn't shower himself. He was like, yeah, I couldn't even reach back to shower myself. I was like, yeah, that's a real workout for you. You were going to have muscle pain. I said you need to eat to recover. You need to sleep to recover. You need to take cod liver oil. All this stuff to help you recover. He wouldn't believe me. So, there you go. Funny stories. Mm-hmm.
That's funny. I was going to say. All right.
I was
I was going to say, I won't believe you that you're strong unless you can pick me up. Then I'll believe
we'll
you.
Find that out. Anyway, besides the point.
Anyways, just
I was going to say the most sore I've ever been was not from a workout. It was from that sounded bad.
Yeah, that's it. My brain went to wait for sex. You were in that much pain from sex?
No, I realized like that was a bad place to pause to get.
Yeah, exactly. That was a bad place to pause.
No, I used to like teach horseback lessons at a horse camp. So I was barn staff, and we went haying and got all the feed and stuff in 2 days. And there were like 4 girls there, but I always commercial fish salmon my whole living with my family, so I was always really strong. So I was the only girl who went both days. The other 2 days, they went and got 2 different groups of guys, so I was the only person other than the adults that went both days. And we moved 2.5 tons of hay twice, because you have to load it all and then unload it all. And then we did a ton of feed, like bagged feed as well.
Yeah.
And that is the most sore I've ever been. Like my shoulders, like it hurt to put on a bra because the pressure from the bra, or even like a sports bra, the pressure from the sports bra on my shoulder hurt so bad. And it's like even with all my like hard workouts and everything, I've never been that sore.
It's because all that feed lifting put a lot of pressure on the traps. Like your traps are one of the muscles that it's hard to actually hit effectively. 100%. But deadlifts hit them and that. So I do heavy.
That's
deadlifts.
what it is. Yeah, you're lifting and then you're throwing it up on
Yeah, that makes sense.
the trailers and yeah.
But like, it's just when people doubt me, I like to prove them wrong. Just for my own self, like
100%.
because I know what I'm capable of and I know what I'm able to do. But for my own peace of mind, I'm just like, give me a challenge. I'll prove you wrong 98% of the time. Give me that challenge, you know? That where it goes, that's about the same thing where it's like, you can go fuck yourself basically if you think I'm going to let you stop me from doing anything. And that's where I'm at. Not everybody's going to be like that. People are going to still be afraid of other people's opinions. Unlike me. Anyway, this stream is not sponsored by Pepsi Max. We need a sponsorship, Pepsi. Come sponsor the stream. But yeah, it is the whole idea of fuck what anyone else thinks. Huh?
I said just keep saying that. Hopes that Pepsi comes and watches.
Well, let's see. Let's have a look at Twitter real quick to see if Pepsi got back to me. Let's have a quick look. So I did tweet at him. I did. I'm not joking. You can go look at Twitter yourself. Denise liked my tweet. So it's true.
I use Twitter like twice a year.
I don't really use it. That's why it's on the web page and not on the thing. Yeah, they're social.
I use my Instagram way more often.
Yeah, I'm the same. I use Instagram, TikTok, and all that way more often.
My friends are trying to convince me to get TikTok, and so I put it as a goal.
Just download it.
It's no, I hate it. I hate everything.
I was the same way. Everybody's
so
the same way.
When I hit 50 subs, I'll get a TikTok.
Well,
it's my sub goal. Because I really don't want one.
I'd be honest.
It's not.
TikTok is great when you get to the comedy things. It really is. There is a lot of funny people on there. I'm not gonna lie, but then you got a lot of ass shaking videos and stuff like that, which is great fun.
I miss the good old days of Vine.
But TikTok is just Vine, just longer.
No, you can have longer videos. Vine would never give you long enough to do anything ass shaking weird shit like that. It was all about 7-second comedy clips or like 7 seconds of singing or doing something cool. It wasn't dumb dances that
ain't actually dances.
Trending.
Like,
yeah.
Imagine if you went into a nightclub and people were dancing like they do on TikTok. You think they're having a fucking seizure on the floor? Like, no. Oh, all right. Let's go to a nightclub story. Okay. Wait. Now, what does Denise say before I go to a nightclub story? There is a website that is like fine but better and 1,000 times better than TikTok. Okay. I have no idea.
Still say do it for the Vine.
Jesus
to
Christ.
This day.
Anyway, so
and then like the kids I used to work with at the elementary school are like, "What's Vine?" And I'm like, "Wow."
What do you expect? How do you want to know what that is? So let's go to that story. Right, I was in a nightclub one night, and that's when I was doing my education back at 24. Like you get to know there was a small group of us, like 12 of us, and obviously people of all age groups are there. So there was a woman there. I think she must have been a bit older than me. Anyway, I just get on with everybody. I'm a nice person, so why not? And one night, her daughter was out inside in the nightclub. She was only 18 at the time, and a guy I say around 42, 43. She didn't know his name, or not his name, his age. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to know your age. Was groping her and feeling her up and all the rest of that. So she said, "Hey, Craig, can you help me here?" And now the guy must have only been 5'8" at the time. I'm 6 foot, so you imagine I'm towered above him. I dead looked him straight in the eyes. I was like, "What the fuck do you think you're doing?" "Oh, I'll do whatever I want." I said, "No, the fuck you won't. Not when I'm standing here." So he turned out to me and said, "I'll break your fucking jaw." I said, "Try it." Anyway, so two of his friends come over and like, "What's going on here?" I said, "You know what the fuck is going on? He's there groping him. You're letting him, or he's there groping her and you're letting him do it." And he said, "Oh, that's not a fucking issue." I said, "So you're telling me that him groping an 18-year-old girl is not an issue?" And they're like, "Oh, you want to fucking start something?" I said, "Hey guys, I don't give a fuck how many there are." I said, "There's 3 options here. Option 1, you hit me, you knock me down, I get back up, I knock all 3 of you out. You hit me, you knock me out. I know about 30 people inside in this nightclub. What do you think is going to happen? You knock me out, them 30 are going to beat the shit out of you and fuck you all out. And option fucking number 3, you walk away, we say this never happened." They chose option 3 because I dead stared them in the eye. I wasn't bullshit. This is the thing. I don't bullshit. I didn't know about 30 people inside the nightclub that night. And 4 of them were boxers.
The unfortunate thing is, as a girl, that happens, and as a girl that, especially when I was in Barcelona, clubbed a lot, it happens a lot, and there are a ton of guys, more often than not, that if they don't do it themselves, don't think there's a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like the two friends of his.
Which is fucking ridiculous. Like, it's actually ridiculous.
The last time I really went out, I don't go out that much anymore, just like where I live and stuff. Yeah, no thanks. But one of the last times I did go out was St. Patrick's Day a couple years ago, and here, as we've talked about, I think on a previous podcast, if not, we go big here in the United States, even though it's not even.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, but
our holiday, and most people don't even know what it's about. Yep. But I went to like a St. Patrick's Day parade, and I wore my like you dress sexy and slutty here. That's just how it works. But I had a long sleeve shirt on. My whole thing is like if I have really short on the bottom, I cover the top. It's one or the other. That's just me, my personal preference. So I had short, sparkly green spandex on with green suspenders with a St. Patrick's Day shirt. And some guy kept grabbing my butt, and I literally told him that if he kept doing it, I was going to hit him. And the bartender heard me. And the bartender was being decent, like listening and like whatever, kind of keeping an eye out in case it got further. And he did it again, and I turned around and I punched him in the face. And the bouncer came over, and the bartender's like, yeah, you need to escort him out. And then I had free drinks for the rest of the night for hitting the guy and actually standing up to him.
All right, let's give you another story of zero tolerance. This is one that I have zero tolerance for. This was on my brother's anniversary. So you imagine I'm going out to drink my sorrows away because that's how I dealt with shit. And I saw these guys, about 5 of them in a group, and at least one of them was making fun of disabled people. So you imagine my brother's anniversary. I got enough drink into me anyway, or liquid courage as they call it, into me, where I confronted one of them in the bathroom. He was down there, there was a queue this way, and, I couldn't basically get out because I had him pulled to the side and said, look, right, I'm gonna tell you straight out now, if I see you or any of your fucking friends making fun of disabled people again, I'm gonna get in the middle of all fucking 5 of you and I'm gonna kick the shit out of all you. Anyway, he said, what the fuck you on about? I said, you know what I'm on about. I said, you fucking know. I said, look, I have had enough of this shit. And anyway, basically, so there's a queue here and he's blocking my way. And I just said, look, move out of the fucking way. I warned him 3 times to move out of my way. He wouldn't move. I absolutely decked the shit out of him. Walked up the stairs. My brother-in-law at the time caught him and bet the shit out of him. Anyway, he walks up the fucking stairs and said, why'd you hit me? I turned to him and said, did you get some fucking brain damage or something from that beating? And basically he walks into the nightclub, tells the bouncer that I assaulted him. By the time I'm walking into the nightclub, he grabs me. I was wearing a chain at the time. Pulled the chain, broke. I fell on the ground, and he sent his girlfriend on me. His girlfriend got on top of me and started hitting me. I literally she had no strength. Let's just put it this way. She hit me at least 8 times before the bouncer pulled her off me. I didn't even have a mark the day after. She had rings on her fingers. I was laughing at her because of how, and she just got more and more pissed off the more I laughed. So you imagine, I said to the guy when I got up and got thrown out. I'm the one that got thrown out, by the way. I said to him, "You're such a fucking bitch. You can't even fight your own battles." And yeah, basically, the moral of the story is don't piss me off. Just don't piss me off like that making fun of disabled people because I can't stand it. It's the one thing that and the other things I've said, they just drive me up the wall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I have my morals here, and they are pretty damn strong when it comes to stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's zero tolerance story. Now that was a couple of years ago. Nothing like that's happened since. But when I did deck your man in the bathroom, everyone was like, "Fair fucking play to you. He deserved it." I said, "I fucking know it." So yeah, there you go. That's a great story and a great way to say stand your ground and stand up for people that can't stand up for themselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah. Is that anybody have any other topics? I think we are on the 2-hour mark now, if I'm not mistaken. Give me an up. So can somebody give me an uptime? Uptime. Explanation point uptime. We'll see how long I've been live, or how long we've been live, should I say?
What did you ask? Sorry.
Give me an exclamation point uptime in chat there, just to see how long we've been going for.
It's an hour and 50 minutes. I'm looking at your stream.
It said an hour and 33 minutes when I did the uptime last time. Hour and 50, okay, yeah. So another 10 minutes basically, and then we can call it. Anybody have any other topics to talk about for the next 10 minutes? Because Susie's gone.
There's in a couple weeks.
What?
I'm sorry, I went to go get a donut.
You could have said I'd be right back, Mrs.
You guys were in the middle of talking, so I didn't want to interrupt
You're grand,
you.
you're grand. Okay, so last topic of the stream. Anybody?
How delicious donuts are. Let's go.
Depends on the donut though. At the end of the day, depends on what's inside in them. Are they the round donuts? Are they the donuts with custard in them? Or what are we talking? And she muted herself again. Jesus.
Snack donuts. She's probably chewing.
I know. You could have done ASMR.
Sorry. Sorry, I'm talking to my sister.
All right.
Yeah.
What's everybody's opinion on ASMR? Now that I brought that up, I think it's fucking horrible. Honestly, I can't stand the fucking thing. It's like
ASMR is the
where they go like this.
sound streams, right?
Where they go like this, stuff like this, you know.
Yeah.
And I can't stand it. I find it absolutely
I've
horrible.
literally never even experienced it.
I was scrolling through TikTok and a couple of videos popped up with it on there, and I was like, it just cringes me out. I don't want to be hearing noises on a microphone and stuff like that. It's not my niche, should we say, or something that
The
I
only
enjoy.
reason why I know it is because those girls that got banned from it for making it like too overtly sexual.
Yeah, it can get there, yes. And this is why I hate the bikini streams a lot of the time, because they get way too sexual and nothing is ever done about it.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, it's like we need people with talent on the platform, not people just shaking their ass and having their titties out. It's a simple fact, like. But no, Twitch doesn't
That's
give a fuck.
Onesies and not lingerie.
Yeah, like I could wear lingerie on stream if I wanted to, but then I'd probably get banned because it'd be weird.
I could too, and I'd probably triple my viewership in a week, but
Yeah,
I'm good.
exactly.
It's not the brand I have.
Application for you though.
Well, the bikini stream is going to be more not as revealing as you think. I'm getting a bikini that's not a fucking thong or anything like that.
Like a sports bra type top instead of the really low cut ones.
Exactly. Like it's more of a comedy type of thing than it's going to be. Oh, I'm sexy. Come fucking thump me. No, it's not going to be like that. But yeah, I think that might be a good place to end it because I actually can't think of anything else to talk about. And we hit upon a lot of topics today. I think. Everybody good with that? I need to actually close this down here. Yeah. So, I think that's a good place.
I keep yawning.
Anyway,
Okay.
thanks
I
everybody.
get to go play Smite now.
Yes, you do. Thanks everybody for watching the podcast. No, the whole stream just froze.
Are you already done with it?
I know, the stream just froze. Shit. Okay, well that's the end of it.
I'm talking about the screen.
I haven't stopped it. I'm stopping it now. It just ended. Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was